So Desmos can help you solve a lot of problems. Desmos can help you graph equations and inequalities, but what Desmos cannot help you initially is writing these inequalities. Now, in the homework and problems, they might give you the graph, the inequality, but you are the one that has to write the inequality problem. So I'm going to show you how easy this is. First of all, let's do a little review on an equation. An equation is written in the form y equals mx plus b. And the m, the number in front of the x, stands for the slope, which can be found as the rise over the run. While the letter b stands for the y-intercept, which is when it crosses the y line. If you guys don't remember, this is your x line, this is your y line. So we're basically when it crosses the y line. So what do we do first? First of all, we need to understand what kind of line we're talking about, because this is an inequality, guys, and there's two types of lines you would see. We see what is known as a solid line. A solid line is when it's, like you said it, a straight line, either going up or going down. And the symbols for this one will be considered less than or equal or greater than or equal. The other type of graph you might see is a dashed line. Dashed line for inequalities, which is the same thing as a line going down, but you guessed it, it's dashed. Or is a line going up, which is dashed. And the symbols for this is less than or greater than. So the first thing we have to understand is which one are we looking at? In this problem, we have a solid line. So we know our inequality is going to be either let me use a different color, blue, because we know it's a solid line. It's either y is less than or equal mx plus b, or y is greater than or equal mx plus b. So these are my two options, correct? Now what do? Let's find the slope and the y-intercept. The easiest thing we could do right now is find the y-intercept. We know the line is crossing at -2. So we know this, letter B, is -2. So we know this could be, let's replace it with y is less than or equal mx minus 2, or y is greater than or equal mx minus 2. And then let's find the slope. So notice we got to pick 2 points to find the rise over the run. Well, how many did I have to go up to get to that point? I went 2 up, which is +2. And then how many did I have to go to the left? I actually went 4 to the left, which when you go to the left is always negative. So my rise, let me put it right here. My rise was 2 up, which is +2. My run was 4 left, which was -4, right? So 2 over 4, negative. Can I reduce that, guys? I can actually reduce it to -1/2. Everybody okay? Perfect. So my inequalities will be, it's either y is less than or equal -1/2 x minus 2, or y is greater than or equal -1/2 x minus 2. So it's either one of these inequalities, guys. And what's the best way we can choose? Well, I'm going to show you 2 different ways. For those of you that are my students, it's actually very simple. All you can do is, how about we use Desmos? I'm going to show you how Desmos can help you. Let's go ahead and graph both. Y is less than or equal -1 divided by 2x. Oops, x is on top. Minus 2. There it is. That's the first one. And the other one is y is greater than or equal -1 divided by 2x minus 2. So we have both inequalities right now showing, and we got to figure out which one is it. Well, which side is being colored, guys, is actually the one that's being on top. So in this case, we want the purple one. We want the purple one because it's the one that is being colored, you see? Just like the graph. So that will be the one that shows greater than. You see my color purple? The one that shows greater than. So my answer will be this one. Now, for those of you that have more strict teachers, how can we check without Desmos? Very simple. Notice how we have a shaded area. Well, the shaded area means that these are all answers to my inequality. And if you were to pick a point and you were to plug it in, if it's true, that's how you know that inequality is true. So how about we pick an easy point that's in the shaded area? I would always choose, if it's available, I would always choose a point 0, 0. So if I were to plug 0, 0 on both equations, whichever one gives me a right answer, that's your inequality. So let's plug it into both. When my y is 0, it's less than or equal negative 1 over 2 times 0 minus 2. Well, what's negative 1/2 times 0? That's just 0. So is 0 less than or equal negative 2? No, 0 is bigger than a negative, so that's wrong. Let's do it over here, guys. 0 is greater than or equal negative 1/2 times 0 minus 2. Now, this cancels out. Is 0 greater than or equal to negative 2? Yeah, it's not equal, but it is bigger. So that's how we know this is the right answer.